Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to welcome you here today. I see the teachers who are joining the webinar today. And I'm really happy that you start your new school term with us. As usual, there are people from different parts of Ukraine. I can see teachers from Odessa, Lviv, Kyiv, Sumy, Khust, Vinnytsia, Korostень, Kherson, Kharkiv. Wow, so many participants today. Great. Smila, Odessa again. Welcome, welcome everyone. My name is Diana Головань. I'm an LT consultant for National Geographic Learning Ukraine. And today we are going to talk about storytelling in the primary classroom. While we are waiting for other colleagues to join this event, let me tell you a bit about National Geographic Learning, its philosophy. So, the official representative of National Geographic Learning in Ukraine is Linguist Company. So if you work with Linguist, you can ask for these books to look through, to find some courses that may interest you. Lots of books have the permission from the Ministry of Education of Ukraine, so you can use them with your classes. The main slogan, motto of this publishing house is bringing the world to the classroom and the classroom to life. Can you imagine these lessons full of real life? The lessons that your students will definitely remember. The stories that your students will share after the English classes finishes. This is possible together with our book. The main goal is to help learners experience the world. It's not just about the rules. It's not about the vocabulary or reading skills. This is something more. We need to see some meaning. We need to study grammar in order to communicate effectively. We need to study vocabulary in order to tell about everything to our new friends. We need to be able to read just because we want to find out some interesting information. And so on and so forth. Everything you can find in our different series. They believe, and I agree with that you can't understand the world if you don't experience it. So, if you want to understand the rule, you need not only to read the rule, you need to practice, to use it in your speech. The same is with the world. Together with, you can read lots of books, you can know different facts, but if you don't see, if you don't experience it, it's very difficult to remember. This is how our brains work. So the whole world, the real world, is on the pages of our series. All these pictures actually are taken from different series from National Geographic Learning. You can find real people, real places. All content, all materials was taken from National Geographic Learning explorers, from professional photographers. There are real children, real stories. Everything is quite interesting. It's like you are searching the social network and learn English and effectively. So those spectacular images, they bring emotions. Look at this funny picture. What do you think the people experience? How would you feel if you were in this situation? Can you imagine? We can discuss so many things with the students. We can create immediate interest like this. And of course, world-class explorers share their stories. They teach students important values. To be curious, to always keep learning, don't give up. It's not just the words. This is how they live. This is their stories. Different stories. And today I'm going to share some stories with you. And in National Geographic Learning, we believe that we teach English equals we teach the world. It's not only about the rules. It's about the usage of the language in the modern world. One of the series is Look. This is the series for primary students. You can use it starting from the starter level and up to level 6. Only first 4 levels have the permission from Ministry of Education. And this book really tells the stories. It helps young learners gradually develop their language through the chants, through the songs, through funny games and videos. This course is full of video material and interesting texts. The children will love to read the stories or listen to the stories if they can't read yet. But they will always be eager to discuss them, to share, to ask more questions. And the book is very easy to teach. 1 page means 1 lesson. The material, it's enough material for the lesson in the 1st grade and the 2nd. So if you teach the 1st graders, it means that you can, there will be not more exercises than for these 30 minutes of studying your students. I think I told you a lot about National Geographic Learning and the Look series, and now we are going to start. Hello again for everyone who have just joined us. My name is Diana Головань. I'm an LT consultant in National Geographic Learning in Ukraine, and I work in Linguist Company, which is an official representative of this publishing house in Ukraine. I'm happy to welcome you all here, and I think we can start now. For warm-up, think of the best presents you have ever received. Write to me in the chat. What was the best present for you? Hello, everyone. A nice book. Good. Earnings. A dog. Wow. My daughter. Nice. That is true. A dog also is very cute. A tour. Oh, yeah. Impressions. Nice. Traveling to other countries. A set of cooking utensils. Good. Utensils. Sorry. My son. Good. Children. Yeah. Book. Cosmetics. So many presents, right? So let's just recall. I think I can't even answer the question. The best present. I hope my best presents will be in the future. But of course, most of them it's about memories. It can be something not big, not expensive, but it gives you lots of emotions and memories. Impressions, books, free webinar. Great. Concert. Good. Thank you very much. The best present you have ever received. The one you can touch or the one you can't touch. Here, actually, we have different range. Yeah. So if you remember your best present, is it the one you can touch or something you can't touch? For example, if we're talking about tour, yeah, it more you can't touch it, but you can feel it. Yeah, this is impressions. My youngest daughter and my 42. Congratulations, Ruslana. Hello, Oleg. Yeah, experience, books. Yeah. Okay. So, you have yourself, right? Something that you can touch, something you can't touch. And now we're going to listen to a story. Anagram poem with my name. Oh, right. That's nice. Thank you. Good. So many emotions from you. Okay, so look at this picture. If it was in the classroom, I would ask my students what you can see. Here is an old lady, a stream, rocks, or stones, some trees, maybe. Yeah. The woman is drinking, right? So now, are you ready to listen to a story? I'm waiting for your yes. Stream, good. Yes, plus, good. So, listen to the story and answer my question. What's the story is called The Best Present of All. The story is called The Best Present of All. Listen to the story and tell me what the best present is. Okay, let's start. An old woman is walking in the mountains. She is tired and thirsty. She stops at the stream to have some water. She sees a small blue stone. She picks it up. It's a jewel. It's a nice blue jewel. She puts it in her bag. Then the old lady meets a young man. The young man is tired and hungry. The old woman wants to give him some food. She opens her bag, and the young man sees a blue jewel. What a beautiful jewel, he says. Can I hold it? Yes, the old woman says. In fact, you can have it. It's my present to you. Oh, thank you, said the young man. Now I can have a new house and new clothes. Then the man goes into the town. He looks at the nice shops and big houses. Do I really need these things? Thinks the young man. 3 days later, the old woman sees him again. He's got the jewel in his hand. Thank you for the jewel, he says, but I don't want it. The old woman smiles. What do you want? I want to be kind like you, he says. Can you teach me? This is the end of the story. Thank you very much for listening. So, what the present, sorry, not the woman, the man, what present the man gets? So what's the best, present is moral, good, kindness, yes. So he has something that he could touch, that was a jewel, but, he decided that he doesn't want it. He needs something like kindness. Good, thank you very much. You're very attentive listeners. Let's move on. By the way, do you like the story? Please put me from 1 to 5 how you like this story. 1, I don't like it. 5, it's a good story. 5, good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I like it. Now, just a quick revision of what we've thought. 8. Oh, thank you, Victoria. Yes, that's a nice story. Actually, it's fresh, right? I've never heard something like that before. So the old woman is hungry or thirsty. She finds a jewel or a young man in the stream. The young man asks to have some water to hold the jewel. The woman lets the man have the jewel. Later, the man gets a house or brings the jewel to the woman. The young woman is thirsty. Yeah, the thirsty, not hungry. The man was hungry. The woman is thirsty because she drinks. Yeah, and she sees the jewel, the stone. The man wants more new things to be kind. Yeah. Good. I see your answers here very, very well. She finds a jewel. Yes, thirsty. Good. So I think you answered in your head, right? So no need to write the comments. It's quite a childish task, right? But of course, with the children, we would discuss everything and ask them maybe, can you remember from the 6-2, yeah, to be kind. Yeah, good. So here are the correct answers. To have the jewel, yeah. So he can sell it and then buy something that he needs. Very well. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, the best present 2.0, yeah. Let's imagine like in modern world, we have a good story, a good movie maybe, and then in a year or something, we have part 2, part 3, and so on and so forth, right? So let's imagine we, in a year or something, there will be the continuation of this story. Okay, thank you very much for your answers. That's nice. Some warm up, yeah, before school year starts. So, how can the story continue? It will be really interesting for me to know your ideas. We don't need to write a story now, just 1-2 sentences. So it's like the episode, or maybe the film finishes, or the story finishes with, I want to be kind like you. Can you teach me? And then in a year, it's a continuation. So what can be done? Oh, we have already the answers. That man will teach someone else to be kind. Good. Yeah, so it's like a magic stone, the one who has it. Yeah, he can transfer it to another person, and they want to teach to be kind too, so our world becomes a better place. Nice idea, Olga. Right? Why not? The man became a son for a woman. Maybe, yeah. Why not? The young man will look after that old lady. Good. Yeah. Not a lady advises a man to find someone to share something with love and kindness. So here is the lesson from the lady, right? And then it can be adventures of this man. Good. The man became kind and began to help other people. The old woman took the magic stone and threw it into the water. Wow, unexpected. And then the reaction of the man, right? So if he's angry, it means that he may be greedy or something, right? And then she explains that, you see, so being kind, it's not only about giving and receiving. Yeah, being kind, it's to feel love when you talk to other people, to try to understand others people, not to be maybe tied with your objects. The man starts to help other people. Good. Can you teach me? Let's start up a school of kindness. Good, Victoria. Nice idea. Yeah, maybe. Why not? It can be friends. Yeah, they became friends. They sent in Jewel to the hospital. Yeah, so for people who need it more. Okay, so many ideas. Nice. Can you imagine discussing this with your students, and then they can prepare their own stories? They're traveling together and find a big magic gates that opened with Jewel. Oh, wow. So this is a real adventure. So you see, there can be different even genres of this story. It can be something like adventurous movie, detective, maybe, yeah, comedy, yeah, family movie or something like that. Good, thank you very much, and we are move on. So that was a story, right? And why storytelling is important? While you are still writing your answers to me, I would like to have a small quiz with you. Not quiz, but poll. Oh, sorry, not this. This one. How often do you use stories in the classroom? From time to time. So do you have it like usual thing, or just when you have inspiration, or maybe you do it like sometimes? In the comments, write to me, please. Do you find stories in your books, or you use other resources? So do stories incorporate in the course that you are using? So it's just like my interest, because I tried always to find some books from international publishers, books for kids, not adapted books, but kids books, and we read with students. Especially they liked those rhyming stories. Okay, so I see that most of, like, the biggest part of you does it from time to time, and some people also do it every unit. Every lesson, just 3 people, good. And 12 people said several times per school year. Good, thank you. Thanks a lot. I think we can continue. Every unit in the books use different resources. To the top. Make my own stories. Wow, so creative. Yeah, actually, that's right. Actually, storytelling. Yeah, the first word is here is authentic. This is how our great-grandparents were taught, our parents were taught, and we were taught, and our children are taught now, right? So this is the way how children understand the concepts of the world, right? We all remember those fairy tales. We like cartoons. We like movies. Everything. So when you have a story, every situation becomes closer to you, right? Also, why storytelling is important? Because it's entertaining. You can have fun when you listen, when you watch the story. You can role play it with your students. They can like read, but with like their characters, right? You can play some games. You can wear costumes, or maybe prepare drawings. The teacher can be like a storyteller in the head, who's making fun with students. Why not, right? So this is part of entertainment. And again, it's very important for young children not to feel bored, because they have just been in the kindergarten playing with their friends, and now they have to sit at the desks. Who wants that? Even for us, it can be sometimes difficult. But when it comes to a story, their eyes begin to sparkle, right? It's good when teachers have the routine of storytelling, right? It's something like you can turn on the music. Some music, it means that now it's going to be a story. You could put on a hat. You can take maybe a puppet or a soft toys like your helper or storyteller. You can rearrange desks, or maybe do something with the light. So you create this atmosphere. It's like traditions that you have. And stories are educative. sometimes when there are difficult situations in the class, and you want your children to look at the situation, maybe to behave better, to understand the child who they hurt, you can tell them a story that explains this situation. And it really helps to see the situation from other person's view. So this is, again, it can be used as the tool of management, classroom management, or like behavior thing. And actually, it's not just like methodology. Psychology also tells about this. But I will talk about it a bit later. And what do you think are important aspects for a storyteller? So as a teacher or as a parent, when you want to tell a story, let's speak about telling a story in English, not just in native language, but in a foreign language. What are important things? What we need to consider? So first of all, storyteller has to know the story, right? You can't tell the story when you don't know how it finishes, because it can be, you can't improvise, yeah, so well. I mean, it's maybe different. Emotions, yes. So you when you tell the story, it's not just the reading, boring reading, right? This is more about giving emotion. Important to act. Yes, you use it, and you ask students to do the same, right? Interest in plot. Yeah, the story must be engaged. But we're talking about storyteller, not the story. Yeah, I think good storytellers can make even not very interesting story more engaging. And I would like to share one video with you. The video, I will show you it without the sound.
Guy stand up, he get his gun. He start yelling and cursing as he's firing his gun. You know,
but
in
look
that,
at
sometimes
this
madness descends and people do stuff without reason, yeah? See, everybody starts standing up, so I stand up too. Tired, cold, hungry.
It's not the beginning. Let's do
My whole family, we went outside, we would look toward Pearl Harbor. We see the black smoke, and every now and then get the rumbling like thunder. And then coming out of the smoke, I see these 3 planes. They got the red ball, the rising sun of Japan on their wings. They're coming in low and fast. So low that I can see the faces of the pilots as they go by. They look like me. I was 20 years old. My kid brother Kenji was 18. My dad will go drive us to the induction center. He stayed driving. All of a sudden, he go say, "This country been good to us."
Okay. This is a famous storyteller. His name is Elton Chung. And he actually, it's his job. And some of you wrote that you can't see. So the thing is that even without looking at the hearing the person, you can understand something, because he uses facial expressions, he uses gestures a lot, and this is a part of Asian culture to tell the story like this. So when they tell the story, like, it's not only the voice, it's like the whole body. The same is, it's very important. And sometimes you can even practice in front of the mirror just to understand or record yourself. Also, while we were watching this episode, you were sharing an interesting thing, like you need to consider your students' interests, and it's important. Yeah, so you need, when you're a storyteller, you need to engage with the audience. Good. Show emotions. Super. And if you're a listener, so if you're a small child, what is important to you in this? What do you think? this is the question without the correct answers. It's just for us to brainstorm some ideas. When I'm a listener, what like do I need to listen to a story? And by the way, when we are talking about stories in the foreign language classes, the stories are meant to have some language the students don't know. It shouldn't be a lot of language, maybe 5% or 10%, but there can be, or even should be, some unknown words for students to get them from the content. They sometimes even can grasp the full phrases, like in the Three Little Bears, who has eaten from my big plate, yeah, or something like that. So for listeners, don't interrupt the storyteller. Yeah, and if we want our students not to interrupt us, we should make it more interactive, and maybe like tell the students about that, right? So you're going to listen to a story, listen it, and carefully, yeah, and do something. And the rule is, so you like are sitting quietly now, yeah, just only your ears are working or something like that, yeah. Lock your mouth on the key or something like that, yeah. Understand the story, and for this, yeah, we use gestures. We can use some flashcards, right? We can use maybe presentation, realia, and we need to be sure that the story has like 95% of known words for students. We can pre-teach some vocabulary. It's better even if you want to pre-teach. So pre-teach it in the context of the story. Listen to the story attentively, and for that there are so first of all we need to explain them the behavior rules, and secondly we need to give them reason for listening. It's not just so interesting story, listen to it. Yeah, maybe it's interesting for 3 people, but for 15 it won't be interesting. We can't guess. But if they have this point, like listen and tell what the best present is. Listen and find 5 animals in the story. Listen and choose the picture which is better for the story. That's how they will become more attentive, because they will get the reason for listening. Okay, let's move on. A proverb also, the one who tells a story rules the world. It's now it's a very common thing, storytelling. You can find it on the TV. Lots of advertising companies use stories. Why? It's not because it's something loud or something. It's because our brain really reacts well to the story. You can explain everything with the help of this. Actually, there was lots of researches, and I would like to share some. For example, in the paper called "The Greatest Magic of Harry Potter: Reduce Prejudice," they say about the finding that people who have read the series, they are nicer than those who haven't. So they understand. It was taken in the USA, and it means that they understand foreigner better. So those like immigrants who come to the USA, so people understand them better. They are nicer to them, and like this. If the reader likes Harry Potter, not his enemies in this case. Another work tells that the work is called "Becoming a Vampire Without Being Beaten: The Narrative Collective Assimilation Hypothesis." They also found interesting thing. So people who read The Vampire's Diary, there were like 2 groups of people. The one who read not the whole book, just several chapters, and another group of people who haven't done it. After that, they got a test, a quiz, something, not quiz, but a poll. And those people who read this book, they thought that their teeth are thinner and a bit longer than like others people's teeth. So you see what it means. It's about assimilation. It means that we assimilate us to the people in the book. So if we read about the vampire, we can imagine like this. And this is like this. Olga, we are going to have the recording of this webinar, so you will be able to watch it on the YouTube channel in a few days and without any interruptions. Next, and also they found out that people who read a few chapters of Harry Potter, in those quiz, in those polls, they answered that they think they could have an ability to move objects with their eyes. So they believe in that they could have magic. Maybe not now, but they can practice and train this. Again, why it happened? Because they have just read about those magicians. So it means that when we read the story, we are so in we think that we are the heroes. We try to find some similarities. And as teachers, we can use it when we want to teach our students, right? And to maybe to develop our students' different qualities. There are two things also that are important. It is called, first is transportation. It means that when we read a story, we imagine ourselves in this world. If we are reading about the summer, we feel like we are not in the cold room and it's snow outside, but we are some closer to summer. If we read about space, again, we imagine ourselves like there. I remember myself reading this, the Oz country, about this early adventure. It was for me, it was one of my first books in the first grade or second grade. And I was sitting in my room and reading it and imagine like everything is happening around me. And it impressed me so much, like, oh, I can travel with the book. Yeah, so this again, and it helps to develop creativity. Another thing is when we read stories, this identification process, again, we try to find some similarities with the main character. Usually this is the main character. Sometimes it can be anti-hero or another one who is closer to us. And we can use these things tell us that actually children or adults who read the stories, they develop the empathy. They study how to understand other people's feelings. They can look at the situation from other people's perspectives. And that is why it is so important. It can really help educate the students. For example, this is a story about a family that is called the Blooms. You can see the picture. Here is a boy sitting at the window, and there is a bird on his knee. The bird, this is the magpie. So this is a story about the Blooms. Mom, dad, 3 boys, and a bird. In 2013, Mom gets hurt. She can't walk. One day, one of the boys finds a baby magpie. It's hurt too. The boy brings it home. The bird is black and white, so they call her Penguin. The Blooms help Penguin get better. Soon she can fly. Penguins help the Blooms too. In the morning, she flies into the bedroom and the boys get up. She sits with Mom in the afternoon. At 3 o'clock, Penguin goes to the garden and waits. The boys come home from school. Now they can play. With the Penguin, the blooms are happy again. One day, Penguin flies away. The blooms love Penguin, but they aren't sad. Now she's with other birds. This is a story about the blooms and Penguin. What we can do with this story? Actually, we can ask students to listen to, or now even to read the story and write down the emotions. We can start all together, like, this is a story about the blooms. Mom, Dad, 3 boys and a bird. In 2013, Mom gets hurt. She can't walk. How do you feel? I can say, I feel sad. I can draw the sad face or show the sad face. Students can do the same with their books. One day, one of the boys finds a baby magpie. It's hurt too. The boy brings it home. Now, what do you feel? Oh, so sad. The birds can't walk. The bird is black and white, so they call her Penguin. The balloons help Penguin get better. Soon she can fly. Yeah. And now, how do you feel now? Happy or sad? Penguin helps the blooms too. And again, so up to the end of the story, you discuss this. And then you can ask, why does it make you feel sad? What to do? How does it make you happy? Why now you are happy? In the total, what do you think about the story? Again, it's just to students to understand their emotions better. And this is like the first step, like a little brick to this self-assessment thing. Yeah, they can understand their emotions. How do you like this text? Yeah, this like to look from the other perspective. Another thing, you can use the storyboard. Actually, this is a good thing to help students with retelling the stories, or maybe creating their own stories using storyboard. And like one square means one like scene, yeah, of the story, a short episode. It can have 1, 2, 3 sentences. And again, while I was reading this, or my students doing that, I would ask them to draw the emotions, like sad, sad, happy, happy, sad, happy. And then without the story, they in pairs, or maybe as a whole group, if it is the first time you give such an exercise, you ask them to remember. So the first sentence, look, the first square, it is sad. Why? Like the mom gets hurt. She can't, why? She can't walk. Yeah. The second one, they find a bird, it can't walk too. You know, it's hurt too. 3. Yeah, now the bird can fly. Yeah, and 4, the bird plays with children. They don't need to retell you everything, but at least they will be able to give you 6, 8, 9 sentences. It's more than enough for them to practice. Again, sad, she flies away, but they are happy she's with other birds. The language in this story is very simple. And these phrases like have breakfast, come home, go to school, this is from the unit. This is the unit language, actually. So you can practice it, but together with it, they can tell you a story. And they will remember it, and they will remember the story better. And they will practice present simple, because the bird flies, the bird helps, they help. So why not practice grammar together with it? But it will be much more memorable, because first of all, it's not just a set of sentences, it's a story, it's an emotional story. And we focus not on the grammar only, but we focus on the story. And language is like the tool that help us tell the story. Another idea what to do with, so for this you need to, like lots of the stories have these emotions, yeah? So when you find the story that has this like American rights, yeah, you can try it with your students. It can be difficult from the first time because for them, if they are not used to it, not to use identifying emotions, but this is our role, like guides, yeah, so we help. Sometimes they can have different other feelings. It can be like a protest or something, but let them do that. It's their emotions, their understanding. That is how they actually try to get their own voice. And after several lessons, you will see that your students are able to stand out. They are able to express themselves. They can evaluate themselves. And it will be much easier for you to find the common ground, to explain them difficult things. And parallel stories, again, you can do it with any story. Just some preparation, because for young learners, it's better to have this preparation. So what it means, the story has the same plot, but you change some things. It means it really helps to start developing creativity. For some students, it can be difficult to create their own stories, right? But they can do some changes, make some changes, and there will be like a brand new story. Like here, I highlighted some words that I would like my students to substitute. This is a story about the bloom snow. Yeah, this is a story about I don't know, Shevchenkos. Mom, dad, and 3 boys. Okay. Mom, dad, and 2 girls. Yeah, and a lizard. In 2000, one girl gets hurt. She can't speak. Why not? One day, one of the, not boys, but here the girls, finds a baby lizard. Yeah? It's hurt too. It can't walk. But it's very funny. The boy brings it home. The lizard is green and gray, something like that. They call her Lizzie. Yeah. The Shevchenkos help Lizzie get better. Soon it can run. It's very funny. Yeah, Lizzie helps the Shevchenkos too. In the morning, she runs into the bedroom to the girl and sits with her. In the afternoon, she sleeps with the girl. In the evening, they play together. And the lizard is so funny that the girl starts talking. Yeah? Lizzie lost a tail. Oh, also nice. Thank you. So again, the story is the same, but there are new things, and children practice writing, listening, speaking. Why not trying this? So you can use any famous stories like Cinderella. The same thing, but there will be other girl, and not a bad stepmother, but maybe aunt. She's not riding a pumpkin in a cucumber or something. After that, and with this, they can find first, maybe the ending will be the same, but then they will make another ending. And also, so this is a part of the book 3, Look series, book number 3. And this lesson also finishes with the value lesson. So we read the text, we practice, we discuss what it means to help people. And now we can have this very simple value lesson when students analyze who's helping. Yeah, and they just need to draw them helping. So this story has nice continuation talking about values. And like the project, there can be this parallel story. So what I like about this Look series is that they think about everything. They always recycle vocabulary. You can always find the grammar and vocabulary in the text and in the songs. You have these value lessons. And it's full of stories. And one more story, The Granny Cloud. This is taken from an additional book. This is a reading anthology for young learners, as a small reading anthology that has 6 stories for one level. And each story is about 6-7 pages, and it recycles the vocabulary from the main course, from the primary learners program. You can use it with the series or just like additional reading. And let's look at the story 2, The Granny Cloud. What can Granny Cloud mean? So this is a school in India. The children want to learn English. Look at this photo. What do you think happens? Why are they looking at the screen? I will ask students to give some ideas, to make some predictions. So you see, this is a woman. She shows something. Yeah, it's nice. Harry Potter. All teacher teaches them. Maybe, yes. They look interested, right? So it may be interesting. So we can discuss something and then we'll start reading. Like, I have an idea, says the teacher. Let's talk to a granny who speaks English. We can use a computer. This is called the Granny Cloud, says the teacher. So it's like a special program that have people from English-speaking world who can speak to other children. We can talk to a granny in a different country and learn English. So the first day, hello, says the lady. How are you? What do you think children will answer? You can ask students to predict. For first graders, yeah, hello, how are you? It's like the beginning of the year. And they can practice it. They can show what they know. And then we read like, we are fine, thank you. We want to learn English. Wonderful, I can help you. And they speak with her every week. She's very happy to help them. Soon a lot of children in different schools talk to the Granny Cloud. So this is the story, but it can lead to lots of different activities. The story is quite simple. You can ask students to read it all together. Very useful educational. These stories teach students to be kind, generous, and sympathetic. That's true. It's full of stories. Every time I open it, I find it. And children, they engage a lot. I have checked it. Personalization. So this a real life story about some children, something like your students, also your children. So we can add some personal touch. Ask students, what can you say to Granny? Hello, I'm Petya, I'm 6 years old, I have a dog. My favorite toy is my robot, something like that. What can you show her from your country? We eat vareniki, or look, this is Maidan Незалежности, or here is the Black Sea in Odessa. So some phrases, right? Or what can you ask her? This is a good idea to practice asking questions. Where are you from? How are you? What's the weather like? What do you like doing? Who's in your family? Yeah. When we talk with the students, then we can practice with the ball. So I throw imagine you get the ball, you say something you would say to a granny. So I throw the ball, somebody catch and says just a sentence like, I'm Misha, another one. I love cats. My favorite color is orange. So you do it. It's like you continue the story, but in the classroom. When they are good at this, you can turn to questions, like you throw the ball, the person asks you a question and you answer, like, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. What's your color? What's your favorite color? It's blue. So the questions that actually students practice every lesson. Why not? So you can just find the picture of this granny or use this book. You can find it on the Linguist site and practice. One more story. I think we're a bit run out of time. So just very quickly, a review. This is a story about 6 mice and a big elephant. Mice didn't know what elephant was. They asked their mom, and she says to come and to look. They come to this elephant and start asking, what's this? Is it a wall? It's so big, right? I don't know, says another mouse. Next asks, what's this? Is it a tree? Yeah, she points at the leg. I don't know. Another one, a trunk. Is it a rope? Yeah. Then elephant starts explaining, look, I'm big, I have 4 legs, it's not a wall, it's my body, it's not a tree, it's my leg. And you are small. And the mice began describing themselves. So very simple language is from the 1st grade book. I'm a big elephant, so something like that. An entertaining story, not much sense, maybe just how to find out what's new about you. So don't be afraid of asking the questions, don't be afraid to explore, something like that. When you choose a story, think, maybe yes, thank you, Victoria. I didn't know this story, but I think yes. They just transform it into something, because it is said that the mice couldn't see very well, but for young learners, maybe using mice better than blind people. So the stories should be familiar to home culture. Yeah, animals is like universal language. Yeah, some values. So you need to think if it is appropriate. Highly predictable. So at first, it should be easy, understandable. High percentage of known words, we've spoken about it. If you choose a story, check if you can act it out, if you can use gestures, because gestures will help students to retell the story like this. Let themselves well to use pictures and realia. Even if you don't have this book, even if you don't have this page, you can always find the picture of elephant, of some mice, of a wall, of a rope. Use these flashcards to put somewhere behind you while telling the story. But I invented and used another thing. Again, it's with emotions. To practice language and to make reading more entertaining, because it's quite a big text. Can you imagine 1st graders read it? It's highly doubtful, but if we add some creativity in it, why not? So we have 6 mice and we have 6 different emotions: surprised, scared, angry, crazy, calm, and active. Each mouse will have an emotion. So teacher reads the story, but when it's about the mouse, you show the picture on a flashcard and students read it. They use it the same emotions, like the 6 baby mice go under the trees. They touch the elephant. They touch its body. Baby mouse 1 asks, yeah, and the word, what's this? Like, and you show surprise, like, oh, what's this? Is it a wall? Baby mouse 2 scared. And here, I don't know, yeah. I don't know. They touch his leg. What's this? Baby mouse was angry. Like, what's this? Is it a tree? The one is crazy, like, I don't know, ha ha ha, yeah, and so on and so forth. So you practice it, and you can do it several times with different emotions. Like, let's try this, let's try that. Then you ask your students to do the same, but they need to rearrange emotions. Like they need to do the scheme like I've done, numbers and emotions. And they then need to present it, reading with different emotions. The students will listen and guess or maybe complete the form. And they compare how many they have similar, like all my 3 are angry, all only my mouse 4 is active. And they will practice reading it lots of the time. They will it will be engaging and interesting and a kind of role playing. Maybe then you will show the same to the parents at the end of the school year. How to prepare to the story. First of all, plan the lesson. Think about what words you need to pre-teach, what questions you ask while you read the story, what will be the follow-up. Find the reason for listening or for reading to the story. Practice and rehearse. Even if you're not going to tell the story yourself, to read it, just read it to know what happens, because sometimes it can be interesting. Find props. If you have the book and with the story, great. You may find some other things. Really also work well. Maybe you have something like costume. Choose questions again. Sometimes you can stop and ask students, what do you think will happen? Or if it is repetitive language, they can start use it even from the first reading. In the Look series, where to find actually stories in Look? First of all, extra reading lessons. There are 3 extra reading, and there are science fiction and fictional stories. Like the elephant was the fictional. Sometimes it's something like or the best present. It also was the fictional stories, but sometimes it can be non-fictional. Maybe let's go on an insect safari, and they will read about different insects. Read an anthology. Again, I showed you this is a short book with 6 different stories that have very simple language. It's more like revision, but this revision is in a nice form of story. So you will get this. You will get, first of all, nice pictures. Then you will get the language the students know, and some language that is new to children. And lots of ideas on the teacher's side, what to do before, after, and during the story. School trips. There are also videos. I've mentioned it in the beginning. And in the school trips, you can find the videos that like reports, but they tell stories of people, of real people from real world. Like here, you can find a story, what astronauts do every day. Interviews. Each unit finishes with the video lesson when children answer questions on the topic of the unit. Like here, they're talking about their favorite toy. and you will find the same characters from unit to unit. So they will, like, there are about 12 children, but you will meet them in several units, the same person. So it's like virtual friends for your students. Stories behind the photos. Like here, there is a bus in the form of the cat, and here is an information about the school buses in Japan. They look like different animals, or like characters. This is information for a teacher, but as a teacher, you can prepare a story from it, right? Like one day, a girl in Japan went to school. A girl came from London with her parents to Tokyo, and she goes to school. And I give my students the task, when you hear an animal sound, you make it sound like. And then she sees a big cat on the road, and students start doing meow, meow. Look, it's not a cat, it's a bus. She goes further next, and now she sees a huge dog. Quack, 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 quack. Yeah, the students will go, so you will interact with them. And it's not a dog, it's a bus again. What is it? Asks the little girl. And her teacher answers, in Tokyo, the school buses look like animals. Yeah? And your school bus will look like a cat, and then you will study this nice song. So you can use information and try to become a storyteller. And throughout the unit, this is the unit that I have just finished with one of my students, and I was impressed how it works. So this is a text about the giraffe family, the explorers who work with giraffes. They have 2 children, and we know some information about them. The next is the grammar, and the grammar is based on this text. The exercises are based on the text. The exercises in the workbook are based on the text. So actually, it's like we know about this family. It's like they are our best friends. And then and it was very interesting because it's not just some artificial people. It's real people. We have just read about them. And now we practice saying his, her. And in the previous unit, there was where is he from, where is she from? And we practice it about these children. And it was much more meaningful. And the boy was very interested. And it really looked like it's the friendly family. I remind you that all the examples, all the stories were taken from the Look series for primary students that have some continuation for the secondary students. If you would like to try this book, if you would like to choose this book for the next year or to practice it with your students, you can go to the site where are the links, and also there are some sample pages, so you can even practice it before. If you work with Linguist Company, you know that you can call your manager and have this book to look it through. Think about things that you remember from the webinar. Tell me what you are going to try and something you would like to ask me. Thank you very much for all your kind comments. It's like fresh air for me. It really inspires me. I would like to continue to do more, to find out new things, come up with new ideas. It was a pleasure. You are a great audience. You gave me so many nice ideas. You interacted very actively. And I do like the people who come to my webinar because they are really open-minded, very creative, and it's like the future of the children and their English knowledge is in the good hands. So thank you very much. Happy New Year to you too. Actually, yeah, it's a holiday. So winter holidays are continuing. We are going to send out the certificates in the following 5 working days. So please be patient. You have to complete the form. You will get this form in an hour in your email or when you go out the webinar. You complete the form up to the end. You be sure that you send it. And so 5 working days, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Till the next Thursday, you are going to have it. Please check your spam folder or just write in the search of your mail, National Geographic Learning, or name of the webinar. So maybe it is in the spam. Thanks again. Thanks a lot. I wish you to stay as the first day of school teacher, not to be like October through April teacher. Just don't forget to take care of yourself as well as you take care of your students. Good luck to you all, and I wish you nice stories, positive students, and of course, lots of emotions in your lessons. Thank you very much and goodbye.